I've still got the lurgy, I'm still battling it. It still sounds like I'm nasally, but, you know, there's been so many requests for my watch collection, you know, I thought I'd just bang it out, you know. This isn't my full collection. My Nautilus and my Daytona are out in service at the moment. It's going to take about 2 months to come back, so I didn't want to wait that long to make a watch collection video. It's going to be funny for people that don't know the channel. It's like, what a knob. No, he hasn't. No, he hasn't got him. He hasn't got them watches. He's lying. As you can see, I've got 2 of these things in the collection now, and I'd rather not have one, to be honest. I hate them with a passion. I'll just demonstrate what they do first, before I get into the watches. I don't want to waste too much of your time, but, you know, what these do is just incredible. It's really good, you know. When we bought watches worth $4,500, and another example on here is 4,650, bought it after the price rise. They bought this glorious box out, and I was like, wow, bloody hell, I'm a lucky boy. It's lovely. So this is how it is normally. You get this to put inside, to put your watch on, obviously, to keep it protected. The special feature of this box is you can actually see the template. Wow, isn't that fantastic? Thank you, Breitling. I wanted this. That's enough waffling about the boxes. Let me just build this Lego box back together. If you're new to the channel, this is unacceptable. So that's that. So let's get into the watches, shall we? Also, we're getting really close to 1,000 subs, so oh my god, is it mental. I was going to do this for 1,000 subs, but, you know, I thought I won't want to keep everyone waiting that long, so I thought I'd bring it out now. But thank you for 836 subs, I think we're on right now, so ta very much. So, first off, I'll get the thing on my wrist off first. We'll whittle through that. So, you're probably looking at this and thinking, what on earth is that? Well, this is a Seiko 5, or was a Seiko 5. It's a 1975 model, and this was actually given to the railway workers because they were always late, and the boss of the company bought a Seiko 5 for every employee so they were on time. Now, I love that bit of heritage of this, and, you know, it's not really my style, to be honest with you. I bought it primarily to practice my watchmaking skills, so I've taken this apart and put it back together multiple times. The reason why I did this is I lost a part, so it doesn't work. Basically what I've done is I've taken a bit of heritage and tarnished it completely. So, but I've now made a exhibition case front. You know what, it doesn't matter anyway because most people tell the time on the phone, so this is actually quite a nice watch now. It's a Seiko 7019A movement, and if you're looking to start watchmaking, it's a great movement to start with. There's a more popular movement from Seiko, the NH35. That's more popular movement to work on. You get loads of Seiko mods and they're based on that movement. But this is a really, I wouldn't say it's simple, but it's an easy starter movement to get into. There's loads of tutorials on YouTube as well. I did follow one tutorial. I would mention the channel name, but I can't remember. I might put it in the edit. But yeah, it's just a bit of a fun watch. It's to redeem myself for losing the parts. So it's been fun to take it apart though. So that's yeah. Used market price, probably a tenner. Great one to go for. Next up, I'll mention the Breitling Colt A73380. Now, this is an ivory dial. They come in blue and black. Personally, I prefer the ivory over any model. I like the blue, but I find the black a bit boring in the Colt. I feel like it's a bit dull. But this ivory dial is lovely. It's got the blue sub-dials, and it's a quartz diver. It's powered by the Breitling 73 movement, and it's known as a super quartz movement, so it means it's 10 times more accurate than a standard quartz movement. So it's ultra reliable, and do you know, I've always loved automatic and mechanical movements. It's just what I'm interested in personally, but this watch has made me enjoy quartz a lot more than I did. All these watches here are automatic, and you know, I can go 3 days without wearing one, and then I've got to wind it, I've got to change the time, but this is just continuously ticking, and obviously that's the main benefit of quartz. And you know, I would always recommend having a quartz movement in your collection, just so you've got to pick up and go. I mean, I usually take these watches out without being wound anyway. I don't really care. It's more of a pretty piece on my wrist. I do this all the time on the watch, usually if it's wound, but I have no problem pulling out my phone and checking the time anyway. I'm usually on my phone because, you know, I'm inundated with Instagram messages. Thank you very much. This is a really beautiful watch. It's got the Professional 2 bracelet. This one's scuffed up a little bit, but it's nothing too major. It hides the scratches quite well. It's just obviously depending on the light. I haven't had a single issue with this. We've had a battery change and nothing wrong with it. It's really good. Been pressure tested and everything. One thing I will mention is the Professional 2 bracelet. This isn't just for the Colt. The Professional 2 bracelet is a universal bracelet they use for Breitling. It's a bit out of date, this one now, but this bracelet is phenomenal. It is one of the best feeling bracelets I've ever felt. It's very close to the Omega Seamaster 300M bracelet. It's ugly but really nice to wear. This is the same story. It doesn't pull hairs at all because the links are curved. It's so comfortable, and the weight of this watch is lovely. I didn't mention this is a 2008 model. I paid £1,500 for this a couple of years ago now, I believe, but they have come down on the used market. There is one at the moment for £995. That's on a aftermarket strap though, and that's without box and papers. Great price for this watch. I mean, you'll probably pay £350 for a used bracelet, so bear that in mind with the costs. You could probably pick one of these up in good condition for about £1,200. They are quite rare to find with both box and papers. What I've found is either one has box or they have papers. There's hardly any with both of them. So if you can find one of them examples, phenomenal. I do believe these will be a bit of a investment in the future. I feel like they are a bit of an underrated watch. You know, that's not the most important thing about this watch. It's just phenomenal. And I know myself, this will just go forever. So, a really, really nice watch. And one that really gets a lot of compliments. We had this on a leather strap, a brown leather strap. And you know what? You wouldn't think a diver would look nice on a leather strap, but this one really suits it. And it looks really nice, so yeah, a really great watch, and if you're looking for a diver's watch, a great choice. Really is a beautiful, beautiful watch. Lovely, lovely. Let's go for a top time. So, this is one of the best in the collection. This is a Breitling Top Time Triumph. Now, we bought this for £4,500. That was just before the price rise to £4,650, and then they bumped up to £4,950. If you're interested in the top time, don't pay £4,950. It's definitely not worth it. You're getting the Breitling 23 movement, but I would say for £4,950, it's just not worth it. I mean, that's a lot of money. So definitely have a look on the used market for these. These are going down a bit, but the Triumph especially, I feel like is going to be an investment. They're not limited edition, but they are limited manufacture. They haven't got any numbers or anything, but this dial, when I saw it in the showroom, I was like, I'm having that. It's sensational. I saw it online before. I saw the whole release of the Top Time line. I'm not really into the Corvette or the Cobra. The Cobra is alright because the blue is quite nice, but the red on the Corvette to me is a bit too... It's a bit too red. I mean, it's not a very good way of explaining it, but it is too red for me. So this one really stood out. And the two-tone blue dial is just phenomenal. It just changed in the light and I could stare at this for hours. It is really, really nice. So it's got the engraved Triumph engine on the back. So that is one way you can tell it's not the B01 movement. I would always recommend getting this Triumph over the new B01 movement version. Although the movement is glamorous, the B01's a phenomenal movement, but the design is just not as nice as this. They have made the crystal steeply raised compared to this, and it just morphs the dial too much, and I don't like that personally. This is a really good watch to go for. The only problem with these I don't like design wise is the pushers. It looks like Shrek's ears. I don't know if that's just me, but the crown is his forehead, his bald head, and then you got the two ears. It just, I don't really like it. So, but a really comfortable watch on the wrist nonetheless, and it's just a stunner. I would say for these, all the Top Time models, it doesn't matter what colour strap you've got on the outside, all the Top Times have yellow on the interior of the straps. Now, looks nice, but over time it doesn't look so nice. It gets black marks very, very easily, so that's one thing you got to watch out with wear, especially in the summer when you're sweating. But in the UK that's not really a problem because it's always miserable and cold, like me, because I've got a cold. If you're really interested in one of these, it's a great time to buy one, and honestly you won't be disappointed. It's one of them watches where you could be sitting at a restaurant or something just staring at it. It really is gorgeous. I wouldn't pay over 4,500, the original retail price for this on the used market. There was one recently that struggled to sell for 3,850, so that gives you a bit of a price range. I still think that's up. I think it was relisted, so definitely have a gander at that one. That's a phenomenal price for Top Time. So yeah, definitely have a gander at Triumph. Really, really nice watch. You probably was looking at this and thinking, what the hell has happened to that? Has he destroyed it like the Seiko 5? And yes, he has. What happened with this is the links are actually sticking. So this is a Vintage Heuer, and the links are sticking. So the Jubilee bracelet, obviously it's meant to be really wavy, but these ones are just stuck. So I tried my best to clamp them down and get them off, and I did get them off, but snapped it at the same time because the pins are completely rusted on the inside. So that's another project for me to fix. I bought this for £285. I wasn't looking for one of these. It's just one of them spur of the moment things. I saw it come up when I went to newly listed, and you know, I was like, oh, that's a bit of me, that is. But it's not a bit of me. I don't really like gold, but I like the Heuer heritage and I love the vintage Heuers. So I saw this and, you know, I just shot my shot and bought it. I'm disappointed in myself because it's not centered. What am I doing? My bezel is not centered. This is quite an interesting watch though. It's a quartz movement, but what you've got is you've got a GMT pusher. So when you push that pusher, the GMT hand goes around, and it's actually, you know, it's really interesting. You know, it is a nice watch. I think it's 34mm, so it is a small boy. It is pretty tiny, but it looks really nice with a white shirt like this. And you can tell how many watches I wear. Look at the cuff; it's actually gone black. I don't know if that's just from bad quality or something. Yeah, this one's really nice. I don't think I'll have this for long. I think I'm going to repair it and probably sell it. It's not... I love the design, but the size for me is just a bit too small. These are extremely rare. The Heuer Airlines, you can't really find them. There are some for about 800 quid, but they're all a little bit different. There's one with a lot of black in it as well. I prefer the steel and gold. The problem with these are the capped on the bracelet. It's capped gold and they just absolutely rust, tarnish and go black. They have loads of black marks on it, so that's one thing to look out for if you're interested in a classic Heuer from this era. The capped gold does tarnish, but that's going to be expected. Capped gold does. But a nice watch nonetheless. The casing is actually pretty good condition. This reference is 895.513 if you're interested. 200 meters water resistance, and yeah, it's a nice watch. If you're interested in a smaller dial, definitely have a gander at that one. Really, really, really nice. So next up, this is arguably my favourite in the collection. I absolutely adore the Triumph, but this watch is sensational. This is a Tag Heuer Monza CR5110. Now, I've had two Monzas in the past. I've had a CR5111, which is the white dial version of this, and I've had the CR2110. This is my latest purchase, and I absolutely adore it. So the story of this one is, I was always interested in Monzas. I've absolutely adored Monzas. I think their case shape is so unique, and it's just a really gorgeous design. I don't like the new Monza, the new one that Tag Heuer have brought out. I'm not really one for forged carbon in a Monza shape. I always thought that a mix of polished and brushed steel is just the way to go for the Monza. I love this one mainly because it's got Tag Heuer design with a Zenith movement. It's a Zenith El Primero 400 movement, but known from Tag as the Caliber 36. Ultra reliable. It's such a gorgeous movement to look at also. And yeah, the story of this is, I bought it for £1,300, which you're probably thinking that's ridiculous, because it is. It's stupidly low. But there was a screw stuck in the movement, so that was one of the reasons why it was so cheap. I saw the condition of the watch and it was pretty scuffed up, so my whole plan was to get it serviced anyway. I bought it for £1,300 and I took it to Tag straight away and got it serviced. I think it cost me £550, and it's come back like absolute new. It's phenomenal. There is a little hairline scratch on the crystal, but you can't really notice it. The job Tag Heuer did was phenomenal, and if you're thinking about servicing a Tag Heuer watch, definitely go direct to Tag Heuer. It is sensational. You can even track the service now. It's ridiculous. So a really, really good experience. What I do need to get for this is a new strap. This is an aftermarket one, and not the nicest, if I'm being honest. I am thinking about getting either a black alligator with white stitching, so it matches the loom pads on the minute hand and the hour hand, or just get a complete white one. I'm gonna delve into different colour straps. I was thinking about getting red, but you know, Kevin O'Leary thinks he owns that colour. Probably go for white. A really good watch. I would definitely recommend one of these. They sell for around, I've seen 2.5 to 3, depending on condition. This one really was a steal, and honestly, if you're looking for a new, different type of watch, definitely have a look at the Monza. The CR2110, that's going to be a great investment watch if you can find one of them, especially with box and papers. And these ones aren't going up as much, but all Monzas are. This has got Tag Heuer on the dial, not Heuer. That is one of the reasons why they're shooting up a lot. But I would say have a look at the CR5111. The dial is sensational. It's lovely on this, but in the white it is gorgeous. Definitely have a gander at one of these, and what a phenomenal watch. It is beautiful. Phenomenal. Nom, 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 nom. So last but not least, we've got the Breitling Top Time Mustang. Now, you've probably connected the dots. Apart from the Seiko, it's the Tag Heuer and Breitling collection. Tag Heuer is basically my favourite brand, and Breitling's, it was second, but that and how they treated me before, they're not second anymore, I don't think. So the watches are really nice anyway. I just don't agree with the prices, to be honest with you. This green is something else. It is gorgeous in the different lights. It goes light green to dark green, and it's just a different dial every time you look at it. It's a similar story to the Triumph. They really nailed the dials on these Top Times, especially these two, the Corvette. But really, really nice. So we bought this for $4,650. That was after the $4,500 original price. But we bought it, I think, the day before it went up to $4,950. So if we went in the next day, stuff that, No. Caseback's not as interesting. It's just the Mustang logo. It's not as nice as the Triumph engine. I think a lot of you would agree with that. This one, it's really nice, but it's not as good as a Triumph, and I don't think it ever will be. But the dial is sensational. These are susceptible to damage a lot, the top times, I've noticed, because they are just, the whole case is highly polished. There's no brushing on it. It's a fingerprint magnet, and is also a scratch magnet. Definitely be careful wearing one of these if you're thinking about buying one. These are doing quite well, actually. There's one brand new for £4,500 on eBay at the moment. Obviously, when you get that, get it checked, because you never know why they're selling new watches on eBay and where they got them from. It's a bit sketchy, unless they show the receipt, but that listing doesn't. So, brown leather strap on this is phenomenal. I do prefer it to the black on the Triumph. A really nice one to go for. They've got the same. It's got the same movement as the one in here. All the top times, the old re-editions have the same Breitling movement, and then obviously the new re-editions have got the B01. But the B01 movement version of this isn't too bad. You get two stripes going down the middle of the dial, which is quite nice. The crystal doesn't look as bad on the Mustang compared to the Triumph, just because of the design of the Triumph, the two-tone blue. But it's not too bad on this. It is a pretty looking watch. The B01 movements do have an exhibition case back, which is quite nice, but I prefer the Triumph engine, to be honest with you. This one is just stunning. Oh, lovely. Top times, definitely recommended, but not for the retail price now. I don't think you can get any of these in retail anymore anyway. I think they're just full of Corvettes. I think the next watch I'll be adding is a Dark Lord, if I can find one of them. But the retail price has gone up on them. They're £8,050 now. They came out originally at £6,850. Now they're £8,050. One of them did come up for about £5,000 before. I just didn't have the money for it, and it was quite upsetting because it would have been a great buy to get. I don't really care about the resale on that. It's just a sensational watch, and it is my favourite watch currently. It's phenomenal. One day I will have a Dark Lord in this collection. I hope it's what you expected. There isn't a variety of brands. If I was going to recommend one out of any of them, I would say the Monza, personally. It's just one of the standout ones for me. I was going to say the Triumph, but you got Tag Heuer design, Zenith movement. It's just phenomenal. This is a great watch also, as I mentioned, for a daily. Phenomenal watch. Definitely try and do that, actually. Try and put a leather strap on your diver's watch. It really tones down the diver in the watch, and it's nice in my opinion. Thank you very much for watching, and hopefully we'll be on 1,000 subs soon. Oh, party time.